Getting to know learning journals. This video includes an overview of the components of learning journals, as well as a walkthrough of how to create a page template step by step. To get started, I've included a learning journal template to make things easy. Before jumping into designing, gather your content. Having everything prepared helps streamline the process. Let's look at designing using page templates. First, on the left-hand side of my screen, I'll right-click on the template page. Depending on how you've set up your Mac, you might use a different way to right-click. But for me, I use 2 fingers and click, and my right-click menu comes up. Then I click Edit Page Templates. While most of my screen still looks like pages, you can see that I now have an orange toolbar across the bottom of my screen, and I can see all of the different page templates that are part of the starter guide. To design my own, I will click on the Add Page button and add a new blank one. It'll ask me for a title, and in this case, I'll just name it Cover. Because I am in editing page templates, anything I do here will be added to a page in the Add Page menu. You can see that it's already created the page that says Cover, and as I update it, more things will be added there as well. We'll look more closely at designing a page using page templates in just a little while. For now though, let's click the Done button. While designing in page templates is completely optional, it can be a good step to get started with. Having the page set up all perfectly in your templates allows students to restart if they need to, or depending on what kind of page you create, it allows them to also complete it more than one time. So if you add a page like a blank drawing page, your students would be able to go back in and add as many drawings as they want to as they use their workbook. Placeholders in pages are powerful tools for both media and text. Text placeholders are a great way to provide students directions while leaving a space for them to add their own typing. A text placeholder can be seen in this page in the black text where it's asking students to reflect on their work. Placeholder images are images that have been set as placeholders so that students can add their own photos or videos or even files into their learning journal. While a placeholder image could truly be an image of absolutely anything, from a flower to an animal, I like these examples because they give the students the directions right within the image for what they need to do. By giving them the direction to tap the plus in the corner, students know exactly what they need to do to be successful. Let's look at an example of placeholder text and images in action. In this example, students can practice filling out a job application by using text placeholders. They simply tap in each box, fill in their own information, and they're ready to go. After completing their application, they can even record a video explaining why they're the perfect fit for the job using a placeholder image. They simply tap the plus button and decide if they want to choose a photo or video or take a new one. They can even insert a file from somewhere else on their iPad. This approach is engaging and keeps students focused on learning and creating. On this page, you see an example of a text placeholder where students will write a reflection on their project. Let's create one ourselves. Add a text box. Write the directions you want students to follow. Then format the text. Last, let's set this as placeholder text. To do this, let's select all of the text by clicking and dragging or even triple clicking. Then go up to the Format menu, Advanced, and Define as Placeholder Text. Now, when I tap on this box, you will notice that the text is automatically selected and appears a light shade of red, meaning that it's placeholder text. As soon as students click in the box to start typing, my text will disappear. Placeholder images are easy for students to use too. They simply tap the plus button in the bottom right-hand corner of their box and tap Choose Photo or Video, Take Photo or Video, or Insert From. By following these quick, easy steps, they can customize their learning journal and get right back to work. Let's talk about including direction images. In the starter template that I've included for you, you will see a page that looks like this. This has all different placeholders for different kinds of images and videos, as well as direction images. These images show students exactly what they need to do to complete each step of your workbook. For example, if I know that I'm going to have students work on adding a drawing, I can use this one. This box gives them the directions for how to add a drawing in their workbook itself, or how to add a photo of their drawing if they draw on paper. You can also see that there are directions included for recording audio, adding shapes and resizing and formatting them, and even adding an image gallery. Adding these right into your workbook can streamline the process of using it for students. Pages' built-in drawing features offer infinite possibilities. Every student has access to a full palette of colors, and there's no need to worry about supplies running out. Students can add handwritten notes, sketch diagrams, or unleash their creativity. It's perfect for learners of all ages. Plus, there's research to suggest that when students add handwriting and images to their notes, they actually retain the information better. Check out research on sketch notes for more information. Adding audio recording is also super easy to do in Pages. When students try this, they will simply tap on the Media button on the top toolbar, then tap Record Audio. They'll tap the Record button. This is a test. Then tap Stop. When they're finished, they'll tap the Insert button in the upper right-hand corner, and a speaker icon will appear on their screen. They can simply move this to wherever you've noted, and they're ready to go. The audio is saved right into their Pages workbook, and you don't need to go into any other apps to do the recording or to listen back to it. While this is helpful for students to reflect, it can also be helpful for teachers when giving directions or even trying to help students with pronunciations. You can see on this page, we provided pronunciations for many words in French so that students would be able to hear them and pronounce them correctly. When they tap on the speaker, the word is read back correctly.
Rendezvous.
The Shape Library in Pages is a treasure trove for visual learning. It saves time by eliminating the need to search for images online and offers creative tools for matching activities, customizing visuals, and even adding text inside of shapes. The search tool makes it easy to find exactly the shape you're looking for, and the Format menu, hidden under the paintbrush, helps you to customize your shape. Shapes help students represent topics in engaging ways while staying focused on the task. By using media placeholders throughout your learning journal, Pages can become a central hub for learning. Students can take screen recordings in any other app and seamlessly integrate them into their journals. This keeps all their work in one easily accessible place, making organization of whether they're recording a new song in GarageBand, making a video in Clips, or exploring AR in AR Maker. The endless amount of apps available on iPad makes this option a game changer. It's even possible to create a learning journal, which students can customize. These build your own portfolios allow students to choose what to add and reflect on it in the ways that they feel most comfortable, whether that's in recording their own voice, typing out their ideas, or even adding a selfie-style video of them explaining how they felt about a certain project. This fosters student voice, giving them ownership of their learning journey. Looking for a way to make your learning journal easy to navigate even when students add their own pages? Pages makes that super simple as well with a customizable table of contents. Simply click on View, Table of Contents from your Mac. Then click the Edit button to decide what you would like to include in your table of contents. Here you will see the different text styles that you have listed. In this case, I chose that all my section headings would be included in my table of contents. Now, whenever my students click on one of these options, they can quickly and easily navigate to the project that they need to use. Deploying your workbook is flexible. You can use AirDrop, especially with Apple Classroom, for seamless distribution, or share via your learning management system or the Schoolwork app. Just ensure that all iPads are updated and students are logged in with managed IDs for the best experience. Canvas Learning Management System now supports the use of Pages documents there as well. They can even be previewed in SpeedGrader for quick and easy grading. These options offer flexibility to work within what's available in your district. So why use learning journals? Learning journals and Pages offer endless benefits. Authentic assessments that put students in charge of their learning, differentiation and personalization to meet diverse needs, and seamless curricular connections, where students can receive content from their teachers and create their own content to respond to what they've learned. Let's take a deeper look at designing using page templates. Let's dive deeper into designing using page templates. First, on the left-hand side of my screen, I'll right-click on the template page, Depending on how you've set up your Mac, you might use a different way to right-click. But for me, I use 2 fingers and click, and my right-click menu comes up. Then I click Edit Page Templates. While most of my screen still looks like pages, you can see that I now have an orange toolbar across the bottom of my screen, and I can see all of the different page templates that are part of the starter guide. To design my own, I will click on the Add Page button and add a new blank one. It'll ask me for a title, and in this case, I'll just name it Cover. Because I am in editing page templates, anything I do here will be added to a page in the Add Page menu. You can see that it's already created the page that says Cover, and as I update it, more things will be added there as well. Let's try designing a cover. First, I'll add a shape to the background just to divide up the space a little bit. When I add the shape, I can quickly resize it, put it exactly where I want it, and if it's not a shape my students will need to use, I can even lock it. Locking elements of your journal is very helpful, as they won't be able to be edited by students. To lock things, you can simply hold down the Command key on your keyboard, then tap the L. You can see that there are now little stars in the corner, showing that this is locked. You could also lock by going to the Format, Arrange menu, and clicking Lock. Next, let's add a place for the student to add their own photo. To do this, I'm going to jump down to the page where I have all of the placeholders and directions and grab the one with the person in it. I'll hold down my Command and C key so that I can copy it, which you could also do by going to the Edit Copy menu. Then I'll jump back up to my cover and paste it using the Command V shortcut, or going to Edit and Paste. I resize it, put it where I need it, and in this case, I won't lock it because I want students to interact with this piece. You can see that this one is already set up to be an image placeholder because it has this icon in the corner. While on my Mac it appears like a little photo, on the iPad it will appear like the plus icon. This means that when students get to this photo, they'll be able to tap on the plus icon and they will get options to either take a new photo, choose one from their photos library, or add a file. This makes it simple and easy for students to stay right in Pages while adding photos and videos to their journal. If I want students to have a place to put their name on the cover, I can also add a text box. I click on the text box icon in the upper toolbar, and you can see that a text box has been created. I'll make it fit what I need and resize the text to be exactly the way I want it to look. I'll do this using the format options on the right-hand side of the screen. While it can be fun to change up the fonts that you use, it's important to make sure that you use a built-in font whenever you are designing a learning journal. That way, the look will translate smoothly over onto your students' iPads. Once I've formatted my text exactly how I want it, I can put in a direction for students so they know exactly what they need to do. Then, to make this text box even easier to use, I'm going to set it as placeholder text. What that means is that when students go to add their name, they won't have to delete the words that are already in the box. By having placeholder text set, as soon as they tap on the box, this text will be erased and they'll be ready to add the text that they need. To do this, I'll select the text. You can do this by clicking and dragging to select your text, or just by triple clicking. Then I'll go to Format, Advanced, Define as Placeholder Text. You can see that there is also a shortcut here, meaning that if you hold down the Control, Option, Command keys all at the same time as the letter T, it will set this as placeholder text. You will know when it's placeholder text because when you click on it, it will now appear red and it will automatically select all the text for you. While this step can be a little confusing to learn, it will save your students a ton of time. A little practice goes a long way. Once I'm done, I can even add this to a text style, saying that it's the kind of text I want to use when students need to add their name. This optional step makes it easier to stay organized when it comes time to generate your table of contents. Let's say that I wanted to create a space for students to add a drawing. I can simply begin by adding a shape that will contain their drawing. I'll format the box using the Format menu on the right-hand side of my screen. In this case, because it's going to be for a drawing, I'll leave it white and just add a border so my students know where to keep their drawing. Next, because students will be using the drawing features and not the shapes features, I'll lock this down. Again, I'll hold down my Command key on my keyboard and the L button to lock the shape. That way it won't move around when students are trying to use it. Next, I'll scroll down and grab the image that gives the directions for adding a drawing. If I want students to have the option of drawing on paper, I'll use this directions box, or if I want them to only work on their iPad, I will use this one. I'll copy it using the shortcut Command C, or by clicking with 2 fingers, then selecting copy. Then I'll go right back up to my page and right-click and click paste, or use the keyboard shortcut Command V to paste. Now I have my directions here, and I can lock those as well by going to the Format menu, Arrange, and clicking Lock, or using the keyboard shortcut Command L. Now that I've got that locked in, all I need to do is add the directions for my students. I'll click the text box option at the top of the screen, then type my directions within the box. When I'm done, I'll make sure to lock that text box as well, and this page is all ready to go. If you want to, you can even rename your document template. So for example, on the right-hand side here, if I don't want it to say blank underneath, I can hold down 2 fingers to right-click, then click Rename. Now, if a student needs to add this page into their workbook, they'll know exactly which page it is. If you need to rearrange the pages that are in your workbook, simply click and drag them up or down to rearrange them. When you're completely done editing your page templates, you can click the Done button in the lower right-hand corner in the orange toolbar. This takes us back to the actual learning journal itself. You might notice that the pages that I created are not in the left side in the page thumbnails. That's because they're in that Add Pages menu. Now you can simply click on that Add Page menu and select any pages that you would like all of your students to have when they receive the workbook. The great thing about doing it this way is that students will be able to add the pages and customize the workbook as they need to. They will also be able to restart any of the pages if the need ever arises. This makes it easy for your students to customize their learning journal. While designing in page templates is totally optional, it can be a great time saver and can really be a helpful tool for your students. While this video provides a brief overview of some of the main features of Pages learning journals, there is so much more to learn and explore. Check out my free book on the Apple Bookstore, which includes a checklist for success to help you be successful in creating a learning journal. Good luck and happy creating!